Jonah, let's move on to these other two. These are coming under fire more and more. They're not really czars because you're not a czar if you go through the Senate confirmation process. And yet still they've become targets in recent days by some on the right. There's John Holdren, who they're calling a science czar. But this guy was confirmed by the Senate. Still, people are upset because back in 1997, he did co-author this book that talked about involuntary fertility control. Now, he says, look, I was just describing the methods. I didn't endorse them. But is there any there?
I think there is some there, and I think there are a lot of things that conservatives in particular need to be careful about. I think Van Jones deserved to be got. His scalp deserved to be collected. He had no place in any American administration of any party. And the right, people like Glenn Beck and the various bloggers and all those guys had every reason to go after him and expose him for what he was. These guys are a little different. And I can report something here if you like. Holdren, we're talking about how Cass Sunstein wants pets to sue people. I'm against that because I know for a fact my dog is very litigious. But Holdren actually advocated the position that trees should be able to sue people.
Well, why not? You cut down a tree.
He thought trees should have legal standing in court to be able to sue.
You say it like it's a bad thing, Jonah. I don't, quite follow, but whatever. Yeah.
Some spruce trees can be really vindictive.
Listen, I will say this about Holdren. He comes out and says, look, that was back in '77. I didn't advocate mandatory abortions and population control. I was just discussing, what the options were. But he did, according to this quote, he came to the conclusion in that book that those population control laws could be sustained under our Constitution. Nonetheless, he's made it through the Senate. And then Cass Sunstein, he's got these views. Forget the animals suing you, all right? Because how can we resolve that in this 2 minutes? He is a big animal rights supporter to the point where he has argued that we should restrict animal testing, we should ban hunting, and encourage the public to eat less meat. You got a guy in the administration saying we should ban hunting, you got a political problem.
Yeah, look, I think these guys, I disagree with them a lot, but I know a lot of libertarian and free market guys who are pretty relieved that Cass Sunstein got this position because he actually does believe in things like cost-benefit analysis, and he is not as fringy as some of that stuff may make it sound. Holdren, I'm not too sure. He does come out of that 1970s population control kind of mindset, and I'm not sure that he was all that objective about that kind of thing. But I think